You, along with Sub Long and Yeshua, to receive flags being brought in by Wisconsin Veterans Museum Director Christopher Kolakowski and by newly elected judge in Wausau, Rick Savakis. These flags are used for our Hmong veterans at their funeral services. And with that, to say a few words, the director of the Wisconsin Veterans Museum, Christopher Kolakowski.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everybody. By show of hands, how many of you have been to the Wisconsin Veterans Museum before? For those of you who haven't, it's literally right across the square. If you don't go today, please do come back and see us. The Wisconsin Veterans Museum, which I have the great honor and privilege of being the director of, was founded in 1901, actually here in this building, and was founded by Civil War veterans for Wisconsin veterans, for Wisconsin-connected veterans, and for the people of Wisconsin. So even though I'm the director of the museum, it is your museum. So when you go over there are three things that I want you to walk away with, or if nothing else, you'll walk away with. We tell the story of Wisconsin veterans from 1861 to the present. And the three key points that we make: every veteran is a story. No matter who you are, no matter when you serve, no matter what branch, it's worthy of remembrance, it's worthy of respect. Second, Wisconsin was there. Most people may know a lot of historical events. Some, like the Secret War, may not be as well known as they should be. But nonetheless, Wisconsin was there. And then the third thing is, this still matters. If you want to understand the world, if you want to understand our state today, you have to understand this history. And so I encourage all of you to go on over and see us. We're open until 5 today, and we do carry a lot of things in the gift shop. I do have to throw that in there, I'm sorry. Including a lot of Vietnam veterans items as well. Every veteran is a story, as I just mentioned, is one of our guiding principles, and we exist to ensure that those stories are preserved for all Wisconsin veterans, from the Civil War to the present day. When we learn, where we learn most about the humanity behind our military history is in the service of regular men and women who answer the call, just like you in this room today. The Veterans Museum, and many of you may not know this, is fortunate to have the third largest collection of world histories in the entire country. This is an asset for the state and for the entire nation as well. And there's no better way to understand service than by hearing the stories shared by those who experienced it in their own words. The Hmong warrior stories have a prominent place in our gallery and in our collection. All you got to do is go find our Vietnam War section and you'll see what I mean. Through video interviews, in their own words and in their native tongue, Hmong veterans explain their unique experiences of the war to our visitors. The vivid accounts of the physical and emotional pain they endured, coupled with explanations of how they meticulously carried out their duties, stand forever as a testament to the Hmong's courage and loyalty during the Secret War. Myself and my staff are honored to be entrusted with the Hmong veteran stories, and will continue to amplify the Hmong service through on-site exhibits, access to oral histories on our website, which are up there right now if you want to check them out, and through social media. And I invite you to explore those stories, and please do come and see us, and do not be strangers at all. And lastly, before I close, I do want to say a quick word about Jerry Petrowski. As a Polish-American myself, I'm not at all surprised that a Polish-American senator championed the Hmong cause, because we Poles understand what it is to escape oppression, come to the United States, and build a new life when you can't go home. And so, Jerzy, bardzo dziękuję. Thank you very much for what you have done for these veterans and for all Wisconsin veterans. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for having me today. Please do come and see us at the museum. As I mentioned, it is your museum as much as anybody else's. And thank you very much for having me today. Thank you.
very much, Christopher. Our next speaker, I would honor to bring up Dr. Zai Ling Van.
First of all, I'm so delighted and be honored to be part of this ceremony. The ceremony of the Hmong Lao veterans. The 14th of May, just a regular, what do you call the normal day for most of our people in the state of Wisconsin. But to a group of people like the Hmong Lao, it's a precious day for us to celebrate. I don't want to repeat what the General Son has said, but what I try to say is that the 14th of May is to reflect most of our mind today. I was there at the airport in Laos when the general fly away. And most of our veterans here, I believe that they're just coming from the battlefield. Some of them just laid down their weapons and followed the general to Thailand. So it's a reflection of our new life in the United States. Under the leadership of the late paramount leader, General Van Pao, we, the Hmong people, just like Mr. Wang mentioned earlier, that be part of the strong ally of the United States back in Laos. We fought not just the Vietnamese and the Pathet Lao, but the Communist bloc, the Soviet Union, the Eastern Bloc, particularly the Cuban down here, down south, Chinese, and the Eastern Bloc, in particular China, is still under the Communists. And like Mr. Ray mentioned earlier, that we, the Hmong people, partner with the United States, we contain the expansion of communists in Southeast Asia. We stopped at the border of Thailand. Unfortunately, we, because of the global politics, we won't just seize our fight. And like Mr. I just want to repeat, but like Mr. Wang said earlier, that we, the Hmong, 47 years ago, airlift the Hmong to Thailand. Unbelievable. A culture of slash and burn, a culture of bow hunting, become an ally of the United States. That's why our Hmong leader, General Van Pao, mentioned that we are lucky to be part of the United States. We are lucky to live in the most powerful or the superpower country in the world. So that's why he encouraged us, the younger generation, to go to school. And I'm one of them. So, the Hmong keep the General Van Pao's word in the bottom of their heart. They keep studying. Like I mentioned earlier, that we just coming from the South culture, and non-education, like Mr. Wang mentioned earlier, that General Van Pao just set up school And those teachers are his soldiers. Some of them still sit here. Now we come to America, and most of our young generation graduate from the most precious university. Some of them graduate from Harvard, Stanford, Brown, for education. And some of the Hmong young men graduate from West Point and become a military leader. And most of our younger generation still fought in the Middle East. So thank you to the veterans. Thank you to our veterans. Thank you to the United States. And like I mentioned earlier, sorry, that I cannot hold material that the 14th of May changed our life. The 14th of May changed everyone's life, particularly the Hmong people. The general showed his eagerness to help his people. He fought, and he's the last one to fly out of Laos, fly out of his battlefield, not from a military helicopter, but just from just some kind of helicopter, small helicopter. He risked his life to take the Hmong people to America. That's why, on his last breath, I visited him in hospital in Clovis, California. He said, "Son, keep watching those youngsters. I will be home a couple of days from now. Come back to Santa Ana. We'll talk about the future of the younger generation." After that, a couple of days, the general passed. Anyway, we still hold on to that. And now the Hmong, the younger generation particularly, focus on education. And we have those graduates from the university, not just few, but hundreds of thousands, get their bachelor, master, and doctorate degree. Everybody keep on keeping the general's legacy. And that's why everyone keep working on education. It is the key to prosperity. This general's word. And everyone just keep on his legacy and become a good citizen of the United States. The veterans, to us, is part of our life, not just in America, but veterans, the Hmong veterans live across the globe. Some of them resettled in France, Australia, Canada, and other part of the world. But it's still part of the veterans. They are dying down. We don't have much to live. So thank you, those veterans. Thank you. And thank you all too. They're working together side by side with the Hmong veterans. And please remember that the 14th of May is not, like the President said, it's not a bad day for the Hmong people. Like most of those criticize that the May 14th is not a good day for the Hmong to celebrate. But to us, the veterans, particularly the leadership made the 14th is a stepping stone for the Hmong people. So keep that in mind, and thank you, the state of Wisconsin, that give us the proclamation to keep the 14th of May alive for generations to come. And thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, we celebrate Hmong Veterans Day today, but in a little over 2 weeks, we'll be celebrating a somber holiday, remembering those men and women that have given the ultimate sacrifice for their countries, and that's Memorial Day weekend. With that, it's my honor to introduce to you the Wisconsin VFW Past State Commander, John Trapper Schultz.
Good morning. We've still got a couple minutes of morning left. My name is John Schultz. I am not a politician. I am a veteran. I am a tax-paying veteran from Junction City, Wisconsin. You know where I'm talking about. I have the absolute tribute to be here today to address you, the Hmong veterans, and thank you. Because every morning when I get up and I put my feet on the ground and I realize I'm alive, I owe my life to you. In January of 1967, this young man arrived in Vietnam and became a team member of Alpha 572 Special Forces Unit, a Green Beret unit, based out of Rathke. A couple of months later, we get into the month of May. Our team was called to go to Hmoob, get on a couple of helicopters, take along 12 of our Hmong sidekicks, the people we worked with, and the ones that taught us so much, and head west out near the border to stop a group of North Vietnamese from going farther north along the Ho Chi Minh Trail. Once we flew and got into our area and started to pursue the trail of these North Vietnamese, we realized our mission was about to come to a stop because we were coming close to the border. About a half mile down the road when we realized this, Captain Anderson, our team chief, the one and only that had the map, all of a sudden happened to trip and fall and fell on his map as he's laying there on the jungle floor. "Don't touch me," he says. "My back hurts." Holy cow, what are we going to do now? He looked at our senior NCO and says, "I want you to leave one of these Hmong Lao with me. I want you to take the rest. Continue with the mission. I will stay here. You will find me on the way back." We did. We moved on. About a day and a half later, we came up with this group of North Vietnamese up in the hillsides. We not only took care of them, but we recovered 3 American Army pilots that were being taken north to North Vietnam. And we rescued them. And that was the unspoken mission. The Hmong Lao led us back out of that area that we were in, got us back into where Captain Anderson was, and there was Captain Anderson sitting up against the tree, smoking a cigarette, eating a can of FRE or a can of C's. "I see you got the mission accomplished." Yes, we did. We did not know it, but we were in foreign country. We were not supposed to be there. But because of the Hmong Lao, we not only took care of the North Vietnamese, but we recovered those pilots. When we got back to play Hmoob, back to our area, and started to separate, and we wanted to have a special thank you to those Hmong Lao that stood next to us. And in their tradition, their honesty, their respect, all of a sudden they just melted off to the side, and we never saw them again. We never got the chance to say thank you. But that opportunity, those 2 weeks that we were out there on that mission, where we stood together and we worked together, is just as strong as those 2 flags standing side by side today. To each and every one of you, Hmong Lao veterans, I say thank you. I owe my life to you. My children, my wife, owe our lives to you. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for your service. Next up, we have the Wisconsin State Senior Vice Commander of the VFW, Michelle Rathke.
Good morning. My name is Michelle Rathke. I will be the Veterans of Foreign Wars State Commander come 22-23 when our convention convenes next month. On behalf of the current State Commander, Corey Geisler, and over 25,000 veterans of our organization and 85,000 auxiliary members, I am privileged and honored to be here at the Hmong Lao veterans who live in the state as citizens of America. As a very young girl growing up in the U.S., I learned of the War of Vietnam by watching Walter Cronkite, believe that or not. It was the very first war that was newscast on television in near real time. I looked up to our older than me, but young men and women who were drafted out of the high school to be sent to basic training, advanced training, and then assigned to military units in the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, or Coast Guard. And then they were shipped off to a distant land on the other side of the big world. 58,220 troops died in the service to our country during this conflict. 8 of them were women. Over 1,200 were from Wisconsin. The Vietnam was a tragedy we all bore. We celebrate and honor and take care of our Vietnam veterans in this state. Governor Evers proclaiming the 14th of May as Hmong Lao Veterans Day is the first step in full recognition of our indigenous fighters that fought a secret war in Laos. Partisan to the U.S. troops and faced persecution, I knew I was going to mess that word up, after the United States left Southeast Asia. Wisconsin VFW will honor our Wisconsin Lao Veterans of America during our state convention on June 10th, which is my birthday, at the Potawatomi at 9 o'clock. We hope so many of you will be there. United States Air Force Major General retired John Borling will be our keynote speaker. He and our state commander will recognize and honor the WLVA, members in front of our membership, and to many of the veterans organization in attendance. I humbly say thank you to all gathered today that fought this war in Southeast Asia, and welcome home. Thank you.
Kuya Michelle Rathke, Tek Kuya Kuya Shakila, Lokan Hall, Veteran Foreign War Comments, Nyaka Hall, Wisconsin. 这里生活盘里了，这叫生活盘里对呢。Gary Yosler 设计要一度推教的路kon后，都着要着后stay 我莫中里的能够去爬，要着不都着，要后背路kon后，要莫一爬去过，要着能。แล้วก็จะ accelerate members ว่าอยากจะเล่นมั่วโปรเจกต์ได้ก็ตัวหมู่บ้านของเทศนากูชงเชียร์เหรอจ้าเป็นจากผู้ทุกท่ามองเทียมเราว่าต่อตัวจอรู้ได้เฉยหน่อเทียบต่อเราว่าอีจะเป็นสัญญาณเชื่อมารู้ได้เฉยกันยังอีตัวเมนไทยกูยังอีตัวเมนไทยว่าต่อรอบว่ายังจะรู้ได้เฉยกันเนาะกูเกิดจากก็จะทำเวียดนามยังใช้จะสอดสื่อยังกับหัวทีวีลูกเชียร์โดยกูใช้มือจอต้องใช้ว่าเราจะเกิดไฮสคูลโดยว่าเจ้าของก็อยู่มือจอต่อเจเกิดสังเกตว่าเจ้าต่อการเราเกิดเรียนแล้วก็ต้องสร้างมือจอเตะที่เกี่ยเทียบไฟมือจอแต่ละทุกท่าCivilian Army, Navy, Air Force, Marine, Air Coast Guard แล้วก็ต้องสร้างมือจอรู้ได้เธอว่าเลยจิตต่อบอกแค่โอ้เธอยังก็จะจังเลยแต่ถ้าจะเล่นว่าต่อตารู้นั่งจะเชียร์ยังว่าจิตยิพาเอาคนในโลกแรงวิญญาณจะเกิดที่ไทยแค่จะเกิดที่หัวเส้นก็รู้เชื่อเลยจะยังหาวิสกันเซนว่าต่อตาชินจะเชียร์เราก็จะทำยังมั่วที่เผาเอาแรงก็จะทำเวียดนามยังอีกก็จะทำหอชีว่าจะเลยเสนอเจเทียนจะชีรู้หลอนเรายังจะเอาสเต็ปสกันเซนเป็นตัวของโอเคโน่นเอายังว่าเที่ยวยอเทียนสดซ่าจะพูดตุ้งจ้าตุ้งเสียนชีงั้นเอเวอร์สมัวนู่กับเราจะรู้ชีดีนู่เราโอเคอยากจะพูดตุ้งจ้ามองเราว่าอยากถ้าก็จั่วอยากจะตุ้งเสียนชีว่าต่อมั่วจะก็มั่วชามั่วจะเชียร์เทียนมั่วทางชาจะเราโมเชื่อเกจิไทยก็ secret war ยังจะหนาบ้างลูกเชียร์เราอยากบ้างจะตู้จ้ามีการเขาคือโซลังโซตูที่เราจะเก็บภาษียังสิต่อที่เราเขียนต่อที่เธอก็เหมือนยังเราที่มีกันเนาะ Wisconsin VFW 有冇嘅去天教造 Wisconsin 老 Hmong veteran of America 走路工程走路走领的问题go 想我盘里冇有到当地呢要走跑到瓦拉米路上要走交通也顺道北国话这些事还得你说了分钟有到公道到不得天เหตุการณ์นี้เราพบจากเหตุการณ์ United States Air Force Major General นึกว่าเราลองชอบเขาเลยที่ชื่อ John Bowling ยอดตัวว่านี่ยังตัวมั่วเราตัวมั่วรู้เราเสนอเนี่ยเขารู้เสนอ John เทียบตัว State Commander ยอดเรามั่วเกี่ยวกับเทียบมั่วเส้นชีเราพูดตัวมั่วเราเทียบอยู่กับเทียบอยู่เราหมู่ที่มั่วเราทอลคนเขาว่าตัวหมู่เสกเทียบตัวของเราตรงนั้นเขาเคยกุศลให้ย่าให้เดียนู่นเราผู้ชี้ให้เขาเกี่ยวกับเชื่อเราชีดูเชื่อที่ชีเขาให้ว่าเราเสนอเราตัวของย่าโอเคเทียบซะก็เราย่าเรา Southeast Asia用些讨教是的，这种些的是的，过了什么东西
？I should have mentioned this earlier. Restrooms are right out here and to the left, so just in case. It's a long time holding things. Next up, it's my pleasure to introduce the Hmong 18 Council, Jean Zeb Vang.
Cũng như sau tới giờ lưu của cho tôi thẳng đó là cái sự thành công mất thẳng ta là để của chia sẻ. Thank you so much for the opportunity and good afternoon. I would say good afternoon, right? Okay. Today it's very meaningful to my people. I did prepare a speech, but everybody had talk about. So today I will talk about my own history or my own experience about the Vietnam War. I will make it short, but please be patient and just take whatever you learn. I remember when I was young, I was 3 years old in 1970. The war is getting very heavy, so we have to relocate, and we cannot move during the day because we're gonna get killed. So we have to move at night. And at that time, even I was only 3 years old. One thing I remember exactly, today I still remember exactly how I felt at that night. Because I wish that the world is peace so I can sleep. So I don't have to get up at night and keep moving. And I mentioned that was 1970. And I had to move place to place until 1975 for the 5 years. We cannot have a house for a year. We always move place to place. And after the communists take control, we moved to Thailand in the camp. If you don't know how our life at the camp, then you go to the rancher and you will see they have an electric wire to make sure that the animal don't get out of their territory or their property. And we live like that. But the difference is that if we go out, we might get a bullet in our head or in our heart. In Thailand, I could speak a little English, so I was an interpreter back in Thailand in the refugee camp. And one day I remember one young Hmong lady passed away. And maybe due to sexual assault or something that she decided to kill herself. So there was a little investigation, and I was the one who went to the place that they put refugee who doesn't have a place to bury. And when I got there, I do see like 10 people in that bunker. Someone's already rotted. I only see the bone. Someone I still see the rotting body. And someone was very fresh, like they just died yesterday. It's in the same bunker. And they just wait until everybody's rotting and they'll come to wash her and clean the bones. We don't know where they go. And I don't have peace until last year. Last year, this day, last year, outside at the east of this building, that governor totally ever sign the bill and recognize that today is Hmong Veteran Day. And they lower the flag, our American flag. And it made my tears come out. But one more thing. One thing I wanted to mention is that if I have to count my Hmong and Lao veteran, I can use my finger. I know everybody's name. You know why? Not many left. Only this year. Only this year, I have to make 5 remarks at a Hmong veteran funeral. So sooner or later, whatever we say today will become history. And who will know? Who will know that we, the Hmong people, have been fought a very great war? Who will know? The only thing we will preserve, or our children will know, is we have to put whatever we say today into the book and give it to the history, and they can teach out in the class, so our Hmong people, the children, our American people will know our history. We cannot just let whatever happened today, yesterday, or 47 years ago, just go like a wind blow. We have to keep it. It's beautiful. I know it's tough, it's hard, but it's part of our American culture, part of our American history. Many people come here without hope. Many people come here with family, but many people come here with nothing, nobody. For example, I come here. My dad died in the Vietnam War. I left my parents, I left my mom, my brother, my sister, and my half-brother back in Laos. I came here by myself. So, I would like to encourage that we don't let it die today or done today. Well, I don't want every year we come to tell us or tell people about us. We want us to be in a book, and someone will teach our kids that our history will live forever. Even though we're going to have to go, but I want our history to live forever. Mà tây ra tụi ra người sáng giờ kia là bây giờ đi nhớ giờ mấy phang sẵn sàng nè mấy phang sẵn sàng ấy mấy lúc qua trên đó là bây giờ các xe lọt qua trên thì to xe cầu nó chỉ là bây giờ chụp lọt qua trên thì tàu có sao tàu thảo bé tôi mới biết trời đó bé chưa làm to bé chưa tôi lại tôi lọt bé tôi một ra tôi mình chỉ vì bé tên lọt bé cho nó cho bé cho tôi cho bé cho này ra sẽ để cho con nó có mua nữa tên cho tên trả tên tu tên gì tên là tên gì tên con tên mổ tên nùng cho một bò chụp kế bé sao tôi bé tàu chụp kế tôi tên trả rồi bé tàu chụp kế cái muốn chẳng bò bé chia tàu chụp kế cái mua tao có sụp bò mà giờ này cái con cũng sáng hàng giờ khoa ta bé cho con tròn thọ mẹ pi mẹ trong hay là thọ cứ mẹ pi ở mua phần của mẹ là lúc chơi nó trong tiền ta sử dụng là bé cho tròn ít khó của sáng của bé bùa giờ bé hạ của tên là tên chữ có nhớ chủ mua bé cái history nói chữ thun lâu tay nó tên khá nó tên chữ cả đóแต่ชอบอยากจะเป็นอนุปขาดตัวจุดเปเลยตัวละซึ่งเขาเลยยิ่งรู้หัวผ้าของสางต่อเป็นสุดเลยหัวต่อเดี๋ยวจำต่อได้
คุณก็จะปวดจีนอยู่กูตัวเจอถ้าเป็นสิ่งที่ตัวคิดรู้เมกบล้อเนาะขึ้นถึงบุตรยักษ์ตรงได้ก็ที่มีตัวมีหยกแล้วจุดป้อว่าเดียว叫古都庄那么珍惜力家的，做白啊。
因为知道可花的古都，还有他送过的古都看，你那拿古看的嘛，对去鸟我上的历史那古到上大那么多干嘛那给来去教那个是的去，做错项那个觉得白呢，来教来更有意思，要被教的大上了，端地这对我这那什么来，这就叫端地多看了，这没跟你有更到。เป็ดกว่าเลยตัวในคนจอร์จวอชิงตันเนี่ยเป็ดตัว president สู้ท่าตัวเราอิบราฮิมลินคอน์ตัวเจฟเฟอร์สันอะไรกันเนาะแล้วตัวเราตามสอดแต่เป็นมีตัวอยู่รู้ชิงเป้าแต่ชิงรัวยอกแค่เด็กพันแล้วเขาอย่างจึงเลยท็อปเป้ยอกแค่เป็นมีตัวมินชัยลีมุมาเมกบล็อกจะอีเจ้าตัวเชื่อมที่กบล็อกอ่ะแล้วเป็นจิตตีเป็นจิตนิยมอะไรอย่างแล้วตัวมันนี่มาเป็นอยู่ในตัวชิงเป็นเชื่อมกับจิตbây giờ tàu thạch sản bây giờ tàu khởi sự được cho nhưng hay ông tàu ta là họ giờ biết từ sự gì bây giờ khởi sự được đan là đều đi một sự cho họ từ sự họ nói gì tu bỏ bé họ rất giúp bé bỏ bé biến đa sinh để lo phục bé họ là cũng bỏ kiên được quá là không ngoan nữa họ cho bao hay là nó liên nó của cứ là của tu hay lo hay là một phương chỉ là bé lo hay là đều cho bé họ nói chuyện là bé lo chơi không
Thank you.
It's a tremendous day for our community. Our state, the state of Wisconsin, recognized and proclaimed May 14th or Lu Plo Lindu Banti, Tatsi Chi Lindu Banti Ko Plo. Na ya Tope, ya tu ko la Hmong American Veterans Day. Ku pa rong xia hang to ku tse, ku cha uncle, thế lời cho phong như tân thọ là generation cho tụt mong ở tàu sĩ tua rồi sa tê chấm blan đó của rong xe chấp lại rồi là generation là thế tân thọ cho tụ soldier để sĩ khó lo để tia tàu nào nè bây giờ xã cái tàu là chuyện gì giờ hai tia lúc đấy cho mình cái recognize bên này bên gì bên cho cụ tụt cho khả năng là question number one so thank you so much it's a tremendous day.
chim bao cầu thành ba bây giờ nhỏ ngàn dòng kê shi ba sau ya ý thương yêu bao giờ tu lưu nền thiên nhiên nhà mô ca lưu tư dòng kê shi ba tia ba bê lưu ya chân chân yêu che ca mùa nắng shi lưu cái tàu mưa bom sau đó chỉ ba cái nhiều đau rồi nụ tư cho cái chỉ ba cái hoa cha lùng ya chẳng muốn trâu khó ca cha có chờ trong sân hao lần lửa nâng nhà môn tha gian trong lo yêu sao chỉ mong gần kia xa lùng bé mong lần nghe la li nụ tư cho kê shi ba kia hoa bé lùng nhà dân trên đường che ca mùa nắng shi hương cái tàu mưa bom sau đó chỉ ba cái nhiều đau